A historic bronze medal for India in hockey after a gap of 41 years. The architect of this victory, the coach, the chief coach of Indian hockey team is with us, Graham Reid. Graham, first of all, congratulations. You made the impossible happen. Your first thought about it, and when you went for this Olympics, what was the expectation? What were going on in Indian hockey team's mind? And tell us something about that.
India, what it means to the players and what have you, and then we zoom back in and we focus on what we have to do today or the next session or whatever. So quite a few times when we would zoom out, we would think about, we want to be the best team in the world. We want to win gold. We want to, they're the sort of things that you end up talking about. But I would have to say that probably getting on the podium was the first goal, and then as it got closer, we upped the ante a little bit to why not? Someone has to win it. We've beaten all the 11 to 12 teams in the 11 teams in the competition before in the last 2 or 3 years. So really, there should be no reason if we play well that could happen.
Graham, of course, when you joined the Indian hockey team, what were the shortcomings? What were the areas you thought that needed to be corrected, and what were the challenges before you?
I think the first thing that I really wanted to get across were my values and work out what the values of the team were. So we spent a fair bit of that first 6 months going through what my expectation of a player is and a team is, but then we also learnt about each other's values, and we tried to fit something in there that managed that whole the whole value thing. So we did a fair bit of work, and we came to a word called together, which I think sort of was what we've seen in these last 2 weeks, to be honest. So I think we may not have been firing all the things that were in there, but I think at the end of it, it all came together.
And any area of a specific area that you had worked on, mostly in the defense, because that is one part probably you concentrated more on.
Look, I think one of the things that perhaps had happened to Indian hockey over the last 10 years is that when foreign coaches come in, we see India as being this flamboyant and but doesn't worry about defence. So I think the guys who have come before me were very focused on defence, and of course once you do that, you become sometimes too defensive, and maybe that's you've got to swing the pendulum back this way to get it back to even, and so maybe I'm much more about attacking and being aggressive off the ball and pressing and putting pressure on the opposition, and the boys responded to that. I love the brand of hockey that we are playing, but we can still be so much better. That's the exciting part. So yeah, I think maybe giving them a bit more license to go forwards. That was probably in those first 2 years, and Chris, my previous assistant, and now Greg, we're always talking about, come on boys, let's go forward, let's attack them, let's be aggressive. Regarding the Olympics, we during COVID, and that gave us an opportunity to do some different things that you may not always find time for or find the inclination to do it, but what we did, and that was, we studied a couple of the books that have been written on famous Olympians within India, and we got them into small groups, and we got them to present to the larger group about the stories and what we learned from the stories, and what can we gain from these, and some common themes that were that when India would come to an Olympic Games in these last sort of 30 years or so, the team would somehow split itself, would splinter, and not always in the same way. Sometimes it would be against the coaching staff, sometimes it would be against the players within, and so that was probably one of the biggest things that we got, that the boys realised and understood. Hey, if we're going to be successful, we need, and that's where this together thing.
When you joined the team, there was another thing, that senior-junior divide. How did you manage to control that? How did you manage to bridge between the seniors and the junior team and the junior players?
what age does is when you have some young guys in the team, they bring a vibrancy and an enthusiasm that and an innocence. To be honest, there is an innocence with no baggage. It's like, well, of course we can do this. Why not? Why can't we do this? There's nothing telling us that nothing is possible or is impossible. You know what I mean? And with the experienced guys who have said, yeah, that's great, but hey, we need to make sure that this happens and that happens, and that we're not distracted, and that. So the experience of and of course with Greg and I, we're both. Together we've been to 10 Olympic Games, so we also are able to instill that little bit of experience about pitfalls that you can fall into when you come into an environment like. And then you also add the heat of Tokyo, and that was a factor. And I thought it would be, and I sort of knew it would be. We'd come here in 2019, and our two last games basically were at 10:30 in the morning, and pretty much the heat of the day, so it's a factor, and we were very, very fit, and I think that was also a telling factor.
At one point of time when India was leading against Belgium in the semi-finals, one would have thought that India was making the finals. What were your thoughts? Did you think that India can actually reach the finals? What were the mistakes then?
I think the difference between the semi-final and the bronze medal game is that in the bronze medal game we finished off. We finished the job. We created some opportunities and we put scoreboard pressure back on them. We got in front against Belgium and we had opportunities. We had I think really two very good opportunities to go 3 or 4-1, and that would have perhaps changed the game, at least given us a little bit more breathing room, if you like. As it was, instead of being 3-1, it came back to 2-2 within a minute or so, and all of a sudden you lose that momentum that we could have quite easily built. And of course against a team like Belgium, once you hand back the momentum of the game, it's very hard to wrestle it back again, and it's not impossible, of course, but it just makes it more difficult, as teams found, and they quite rightly won the gold medal. So
Now, talking about this entire team, I mean, if you want to individually point out certain players who played key role in shaping this team, and also something like when they reached the semi-finals, there were key moments. During those times, which were the players who played their role?
Naming players individually, because it's a team sport, and so I sort of, but you look at the job that these guys did, and players like as you said, Harman. And that's the problem. When I go to name players, I want to name everybody because everyone contributed. And you look, at someone like Simran who initially wasn't in the 18, or sorry, in the 16, which was and wasn't going to necessarily play a role in this Olympics, and he scores two goals in the bronze medal. And I think that's also a bit of a secret of this team is that the competitiveness within the group, like Srijesh, who as we know, and he saved us in numerous times during the Olympics. But there's always a story behind that. There are two really, really good goalkeepers who are putting pressure on him on a daily basis and making him perform at his best. And someone like Krishan Pathak, I think needs naming, because he was our reserve goalkeeper, and in the rules of the Olympics, he doesn't get a medal. He was the 19th player, and yet he's done all the work that, and he's been over here. He's been supporting. He's been, the night they got the medals, he had a huge smile on his face, and still supporting and contributing, and that's, I think, that's what you see with this group,
Now, I want to ask this important question. There were many Australian coaches in the past, right from Rick Charlesworth, and there is something about the Australian coaches that actually Indian team start playing well. Now, you're the first one who gave a real result that we wanted. So what is this special Australian coaches and how have you been able to transform Indian hockey from a position where we used to play well but not able to deliver?
The answer goes back to the 60s and late 50s in Perth and in Australia. There was quite a number of Anglo-Indians who were born in India and then resettled in Australia, and I think what you see is a little bit of that Indian history coming out in the way that Australia plays, and not many people realise that, but that's why, you know, especially during the 80s, for example, we were always going tit for tat with India, and we play very similar styles. You know, there's an attacking principle that underlies everything, and a bit the same. We were never really as good as in defence as what we should have been, and then I think that's probably since 1984 when the Australian Institute of Sport started. Then we became a lot more professional, and we had a full-time program in Australia, and there was a bit of a system which fed in the players, and I think that's what you get with Australia now, and that was one of the things that I explained, or at least made them aware of, that this environment that we have in Bangalore is a godsend. We're able to train together in extended periods of time. When we started with Australia back in 2009, when I started with Rick, we had an objective to try and before London pick a group that from as large a group as possible. So when you come to name your 16 players, you want the biggest number of players you can select from. That gives you the best. What's the word I'm looking for? But the best mix of players. So
combination.
What I think, yes, yeah. There was another one, but yeah, best combination. And I think we sort of achieved that here in June when we sat down to pick the team. As I said at the time, we could have picked any number of different combinations of those players, and I think the quality of the squad would have been similar. So that part of it is really exciting. Now the exciting part is going to be how do we take that next step? How do we make sure that our consistency is better, and consistency across quarters, across games. You know, we've got to get better at defending. We've got to get better at creating more opportunities that are higher quality, and we've got to learn to play quicker.
Now, the very obvious question: where does this Indian team go from here? Played fabulous hockey, but now it should not be one-off affair. This momentum should carry on.
Progress and success is never linear. There's always sort of ups and downs, and to be successful, you have to learn from your mistakes, and you have to be prepared to lose. And that's, I think, sometimes is the things that we can perhaps learn from the Europeans is that, you know, they will go to a particular tournament and not expect to win. They'll go along as, you know, as sort of a learning opportunity. And I think one of the things that Australia is now doing perhaps better than what it was the same thing, because our funding was linked to the success of the team. Then every time you had to pick your best team, and you couldn't experiment with different combinations, and so, you know, I've tried to do the best of both. I've been trying to get as much success as we can, because success breeds success, and you have to learn to win, but you also need to experiment and see what works and what doesn't, and sometimes that can fail, you know, and so that's always a tough thing to get that mix right. And you're probably aware that Aslan Shah is a fantastic tournament that India, Australia, New Zealand, we always go there, you know, because it's such a great tournament because of the weather. It's one of the toughest, and it doesn't matter who plays there. You're always getting tough opponents. We went there in 09, 10, I think it was, and we didn't pick enough core players. We didn't pick enough of the best group. So we tried some young players, and we got the mix wrong. and then you're not giving the young players the best opportunities by surrounding them enough with good players. And so that's when I really learned about you need a quorum. You know, you can inject some young players in, but you need a quorum of high quality so that they can shine.
Now, Graham, Indian hockey probably needs you more than anything else. Now, would you like to carry on with this team, because this team has done well? You have seen this team for a very long time. Would you like to carry forward this momentum that we have gone? Would you like to? Are you aiming for Paris?
Yeah, no, definitely, and my wife is very keen to also. She's been back in Australia since we started touring, and hopefully she can join me back in Bangalore and on the 22nd of August or so, and then after that, hoping that I can re-sign for the next few years or for the next at least whatever time, and yeah, I'd love to continue with this group and if they will have me.
So you want to say that your blueprint for Paris Olympics is ready, which means that we can hopefully look for a Olympic gold medal and also a World Cup title.
That would be the plan, and indeed, it's quite an exciting time to work out the things that need to happen to get there.
And you have a blueprint for that as well. The blueprint to winning the world title and the Olympic.
I've got some ideas, but it's also going to come from this group, and that's, I think, is also another thing that people don't understand sometimes is that these guys are very talented. They've had a lot of good coaching over the years, and so it'll be a matter of mixing up how they've just seen now, and that's another great thing about the Olympics. They've just watched some really, really good hockey, and they've just lost against Australia. And I say, well, that's it. That's the level we need to be playing at every single quarter. And until you see that firsthand, until you experience it, it's tough to do that back in Bangalore. So I think international competition is going to be really important for us over the next little while, and I hope that the COVID can start taking a back seat if that's possible.
Thank you so much, Graham. It has been a pleasure talking to you. Thanks a lot, and well done.
Very nice.
Thank you so much.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you.